everyone. Welcome to my third or possibly fourth video now at this point. This is Chiclet for Geekamory. Welcome, all three of you I'm sure that are going to watch this video. I'm really happy to show you one of my little secret addiction games. And by secret addiction games, I actually really mean I load one of these types of games up, usually every couple of months, and I'll play it for an afternoon and get my fix in. And this is your typical Asian grinder. There's really kind of not a lot to these games, and that's kind of the whole point of them. This one is called War of the Immortals, and I'm currently sitting at about level 35, 36, something in there. I've probably been playing for about an hour now at this point. This is the very first dungeon, called Drowned Prison. As you can see, it's not exactly a difficult dungeon. I am just kind of wandering right along with my little pet in tow, the little flappy pig guy. He's kind of cute. I am playing a Reaper type, I'm not even sure what the heck I am, some sort of death mechanic girl with a scythe blade. And I'm not reading any of the quest text. That's not the point of these games. You just kind of auto-path to target, auto-path to mob, hit the go button, and let the game pretty much play itself. And that's kind of the whole point of these things, to be honest. It's kind of why I really like to play them. I don't really admit to it out loud, because these things usually last maybe, I don't know, a couple hours for me, sometimes not even that. And in fact, I think this War of the Immortals, I think I played for about 2 hours tops and had to uninstall it because eventually I got to a required group content dungeon that needed me to have another party member. And since there's absolutely nobody playing this game, that just wasn't going to happen, even if I felt like singing out on the master chat trying to find somebody to group with me. So this one in particular is not a particularly well done game out of a whole genre of not particularly well done games. If it had really kind of played true to type, it would have let me solo forever and ever, amen. Because Western gamers, not so big on the grouping. Not really, and you're not exactly going to get a whole party of your friends to want to play this one. But that being said, I really did enjoy it for the couple hours I was in it. I found myself pretty much unable to step away. There's a reason. Mostly because these games, they're kind of like candy. They got kind of nothing going on for them. They're just point, click, point, click, point, click, fight, 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 and they pretty much play themselves. You auto-path everywhere, you click to say attack target, and you kind of watch the game do its thing. And some days on an afternoon, when I've had a particularly bad week or something crappy is going on with my life, this is kind of all I really want, is the flashy colors and the bright sort of spam of your attacks going off and some cute little pet over there who's doing God knows what in the corner. Just some bling, a little bit of fun, really don't have to think about it. There's no customization. It's not like you stand at the character screen like I've done, say, in Guild Wars 2 and spent an hour and a half tweaking my nose sliders trying to get the perfect face. These games pretty much, you start off, you pick your class. If you're lucky, you get to pick a gender, and sometimes you can't even do that. And you pretty much go. And you kind of watch what happens, and your character just kind of putzes along and does its thing. And as you can see, I'm just kind of going through this quote-unquote dungeon without really a ton of really any input from me. What I can tell you is that I'll target, as you can see sometimes I'm trying to figure out which target I'm supposed to hit, up in the top right hand corner. Oh yeah, I gotta kill 10 dark serpents and then defeat the commando. The commando. I think he's supposed to be the commander, but I guess he's the commando in this one. So you gotta go find your guys. I literally will hit like key 1, key 2, and then just let the auto attack take care of everything as I sip my coffee and kind of glance over at the television and do whatever. Now, I can't say that these are good games. I can't even say this is a particularly exciting example of this kind of game. In fact, it's probably one of the worst ones I've ever run across. Simply because the graphics are quite frankly sucky. As you can see, there's a lot of visual spam with all the rather cheesy looking damage fonts going up on the screen. They're not even particularly nice to look at. Can't really see anything, can't really figure out what's going on. In fact, throughout this entire dungeon, I actually had a really hard time telling if my particular target was even dead because of all the weird stuff going on the screen. But I don't know, there's just something about them. It's like having an addiction to M&Ms. You pop one, you pop two, you're thinking, it's going pretty good, I think I'll have a third. The next thing you know, it's 45 minutes later, and you're like, wow, I guess I should get another cup of coffee and keep going. Now, these games, they kind of suck you in because they really get into the whole, as you can see, I leveled up again. They get you with the constant ding, right? Because these games often go to like level 999 or even higher sometimes. There's some games that will go into the thousands of levels. So you're constantly dinging every 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You've got a ding going off in your ear and a thing to do and the next thing to run to. And it's a constant, never-ending quest chain that you simply don't need to read. Like as you can see, I'm just hitting complete, going on. Leveled again. Very good, very good. Taking a look at another way that they get you is these things. These are time types. The longer you stay logged in, the more cool things that you can get. And the cool things aren't really that cool. But again, they're giving you something. So you're like, oh, that's cool, I got something neat. And then you just kind of stuff it into your inventory and forget about it. Until you get some more and you're like, oh, I got more stuff. That's really awesome too. Now, a little bit about, I guess they just kind of hit that sweet little spot of just not wanting to think about a game. You just want to swing your weapon, watch some stuff blow up. It's not as cool or interesting as, say, Diablo, which is, for the game of its type, is quite complex. I mean, you've got a lot to think about. Diablo, rotations, types of gear to be wearing, what weapons you're supposed to use. You're trying to, complete rifts at a higher and higher level. It's actually really quite complicated and very math-oriented of all things. These games are kind of like the same thing where you just kill, but they've got absolutely nothing in the way of thought going into them. Oh wow, yeah, some really fancy thing happened on the screen. I kind of dodged out of the way and came back. I don't think it really would have mattered if I got hit by it. But you spam 1 or 2 keys, you keep going, and you play for a couple hours and go, yep, that was interesting, and then you uninstall and kind of move on. So I'm not even sure myself why I like these things, except for the fact that you level up all the time. So yeah, there you go. Dungeon. That was it. Hope you had a good time.